No. 43. The prodigal son. A man had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. After this, the younger son gathered all his belongings and traveled to a distant land. There he squandered his wealth, living a life of debauchery. When his money ran out, he became destitute and joined a pig farm as a hired hand. He was so desperate that he even wanted to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating. But no one gave him any. Instead, they drove him away. He then came to his senses and realized that his father's house was much better than the pigsty where he was working. He also realized that his father would never treat him like the hired servants in his house. So he began to make plans to go back home and say, "Father, I have sinned. Forgive me." He thought his father would not welcome him back, but would instead yell at him and perhaps throw him in jail to suffer for his crimes. So he decided to humble himself and become a servant in his father's house rather than be treated as a son. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and ran to meet him. He embraced him and kissed him. The son was so ashamed that he said, "Father, I have sinned. Forgive me." But the father told his servants, "Quick, get the finest clothes and put them on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's celebrate with a feast. For this son of mine was dead and has now returned to life. He was lost and is now found." Then the father said to his servants, "Bring here the other son. I must tell him that his brother has come back to life." So when the older son was in the courtyard, he heard his father's words. Filled with resentment, he did not want to enter the house. His father came out and pleaded with him, but he answered, "Look, all those years I worked hard for you, and never once did I disobey your commands. Yet you never offered me even a young goat for me to celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who was dead and now is alive, came home, you slaughtered the fattened calf." The father said to him, "Son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be happy because your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and is now found." Today's message: God forgives us freely and completely. We do not need to feel sorry for ourselves or think that we are not worthy of his forgiveness. In fact, the opposite is true. We should rejoice whenever a sinner turns back to God, just as the father did in this parable. Furthermore, we must not criticize or despise other people who have turned away from God. They may have strayed, but they are still loved by God and have the potential to return to him. If we are truly grateful for God's love and forgiveness, we will be quick to welcome them back and help them reintegrate into the family. This is the only right thing to do, because as Jesus said, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents.